we have a very busy Sunday here at THR. Got the NASCAR race on behind us while we work. Because of our incident, we are now building this car for our upcoming weekend. Dad's working on drilling the floor pan. Got the seat in as well because that can be very difficult, especially since all of our cars have halos. We dropped off our other car. We're hoping to get it fixed, maybe get it back by the end of the week. And in the meantime, we are gonna be doing this project, which is at the very beginning stages. Alls we got on the bare frame, floor pan, seat, and then also Dad went through and did all the bushings, but we have the components here, and now it is time to continue working.
So I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I knew the week that we had ahead of us. I knew it was gonna be long, it was gonna be tiring, but we just had to kind of hit the ground running on this Sunday and just try to be as efficient as possible and make as much progress as we could and see where things went. So first, got the motor plate in the car, got the floor pan in the car, kind of just got some components hooked up. Wanted to slide the rear end in because one of our first jobs we planned on hooking the torque tube up to the rear end, also sliding that drive shaft in. So that was all connected, and then getting it square. Now, squaring a rear end is very important on a sprint car. Squaring the rear end is the measurement from the motor plate to the center of the axle tube, and you have to get that to the proper measurement so then everything rolls freely and is not bound up. And a lot of this is just back and forth, side to side, trying to see how far off you are. And here's a look at what the communication looks like between my dad and I as it's happening.
It needs to go back just like a hair, like maybe a 16, maybe not even. So just. That's perfect.
And that is a great example of how things go at THR. I mean, it has to be absolutely perfect. There is no, it's close enough. We do our best to just get it to that exact measurement and go from there. Once we got the rear end squared, got our rear arms hooked up, got our radius rods hooked up. We had our bird cages where we felt was right and what we try to do on our cars. Then a little bit later into the evening, we got the steering box in and just kind of started clicking off some bigger moments, I guess you could say, when you're building a car. There's a look at our beautiful rear end with everything perfect, at least in our eyes. Just continued to start hooking stuff up. You can tell it's the next day in this clip because I'm in a different outfit. And just throughout the beginning part of the week, just tried to start clicking stuff off. Moved to the front axle and had to square that and get all of our radius rods made to the proper length and get it in the right spot. And honestly, for the first couple of days, I felt like my dad and I made a ton of progress.
So we started off the week on the right foot, made progress on our new car here, getting it ready to compete at the Cottage Grove Speedway on Saturday. Weekly 360 show. Weather has just destroyed the Northwest this season, so this would technically be their first 360 race of 2022. And while we were putting emphasis on building this car, at the same time, I was going through wreckage at the beginning of the week on our components and just trying to see what I could salvage and, you know, having that hope when you're going through it, like hopefully as much of this is still as good as it is. And I wanted to capture the moment here on the vlog as I was inspecting our right side tires and wheels that KO'd the turn one wall at Tulare. The right front you could tell was junk, but the right rear wheel actually looked all right. So I wanted to see if it was the wheel that was destroyed or if the tire got cut or why it wasn't holding air and just, you know, having that moment like, please be okay. So I thought this would be a fun little segment for the vlog. I have the right rear that I hit the wall with at Tulare, and it obviously will not hold air. So right now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put some air in it. I'm gonna figure out if it's the wheel that's the issue or if there's actually a cut in the tire. Right now as a racer, I absolutely have my fingers crossed that hopefully the tire itself is all right because, you know, right now we're in a shortage. This is, I mean, this is good rubber. Definitely can be ran again. And right now they're going for like $300 a right rear, you know, out here on the West Coast. So we're going to put some air in it and we're going to have the moment of truth if the whole thing's junk or, you know, what's wrong and what we can salvage. Yeah, you can see right there, it's coming from the wheel center, which is where it's really loud. And if you kind of like put your ear around the tire itself, you don't hear anything, which means we might just need to replace the wheel center, which is probably best case scenario. The inner and outer, I mean, look to be straight. I'm gonna dismount it and know a little bit more, but as of right now, evaluation, $300 right rear is still good.
So this is gonna feel more familiar. You don't always see us building cars in the shop from a bare frame, but it feels like you see us swap engines every week. So we're just dropping the 360 in, getting ready for Cottage Grove this Saturday as it's a local show. And the reason we wanted to put the engine in, even though we probably had, a little bit more work to do, is because we really needed to focus on the dash. And with the engine in, you can still slide the dash in and out, but we still needed to drill the holes for the gauges, where the tack is going to go, where all of our lines are going to plumb through to the cockpit. So it's just a lot easier for us to get the engine in first and then complete that job. So getting the engine in was like another big box to check off the list of things to do. And now you can kind of see the current condition of the car. The fuel cell is on. Everything looks so much more complete. My dad was able to, finish the wiring and getting the fuel lines through from the engine side to the cockpit. Also, the temperature gauges are in the right spot. So my dad just spent a lot of time on that, trying to make sure it was done right, just completely busting his tail along with some help from Carly. So now that is kind of where the car is currently sitting, as it's almost ready to go.
So here's a current look at our car as it sits in the garage. I've said it a couple times. I gotta give massive props to my dad, Carly. We've all just been working really hard in the shop this week, trying to get as far as we can, see if we were gonna be able to get the car done in time. I knew we were gonna be able to, but still, it's a challenge, and it just makes for longer days, and just trying to, put all the pieces of the puzzle back together for our program to not only get back on track, but get back on track and be ready and be where we wanna be and prepared and have everything in place. So everything is still a little bit messy. Dad's working. What would you say was the hardest part about getting this car ready this week?
Just fitting all the new parts.
Fitting all the new parts.
Nothing fits.
Nothing fits. That is correct. I mean, when we go to put together the car that we just had fixed, it's gonna be no issue at all. I really think it probably would take a day. If you had a whole day, maybe less than that, 2 people, probably quicker. But when you have a car with mostly new components and you're trying to fit it and you're lubing everything up and you wanna do it all right, it takes time. But as I said, proud of my fam. They did a good job, and we're hoping if everything goes well. Dad's just finishing up a couple things with the fuel lines, and I'm gonna throw some wheels and tires on. We're gonna have this thing fired this afternoon and loaded tonight to go racing, because I'm shooting this right now, on Friday morning. So we have more work to do. We're gonna continue working, but I'm feeling really good about where we're at going into this weekend and seeing how this thing rips around the Cottage Grove Speedway. So the last 2 vlogs have both taken place right here in our shop. We have been grinding away, and I appreciate you guys, hanging out with us. You got to see what happened at the track. You've seen our highs and lows so far throughout 2022. You've seen the hours that we've been putting in. It's a lot of hard work. That's what dirt track racing is all about. It's fun, it's hard work. It just has about everything that life, throws at you in it as a sport. Now, I wanted to end today's video off though with something a little bit more fun. I have a question for you, whether you're a driver, you're a crew guy, or you're a fan. Someone commented on one of my recent videos. They noticed that we had the TV going in the background in one of my recent shop vlogs, and I believe it was The Curse of Oak Island, which is like one of my dad's favorites. He's usually the main guy that, has the TV going and wants to watch something. But I won't lie, what's been playing lately is really good. Right now we have a History's Greatest Mysteries on, and we're probably a couple episodes in that have kind of been recurring as we've been in the shop. And like I will say, this show is very, very interesting, and I'm starting to get hooked. So comment down below on this video. What do you guys like to watch or listen to while you work in the shop to kind of help the time pass by and, keep it a little bit more entertaining? But that is gonna end today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Stay tuned. Carly should have a vlog out here soon, also talking about how she's gonna be on track this weekend. But yeah, super thankful that we're gonna get back out on track. What do you say, Dad? Probably time to fire this thing up?
Yep, let's do it.